Hey, what's going on, fight fans, all alike? We are here, another edition of Boxing Chit. Josh here, holding it down. And of course, none other than the Boz himself. What's going on there with your Boz?
Hey, nothing. It was a great boxing evening last night, and now I'm ready to discuss it. And here, by the way, the weather update. The weather has gone colder here, and it's now going towards winter. I saw that they are saying maybe there will be some snow next week, even. So
Oh,
there it
wow.
goes, and there it is. Yeah, kind
Oh,
of
wow.
sad, depressing weather. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, hey, that's the way it is over there. We've had some
Yeah.
cooler weather here as of late, but yeah, not quite on that snow thing yet, at least in this area, though there are some parts where it is. But that being
Mm.
said, hey, rain, sleet, or snow, boxing's got to go. And we had plenty of that this weekend. A number of top level cards. I know there are some that people are itching and dying to get to. And we're going to start with one that was all straight up legitimate boxing in terms of just the matchups themselves. And that is none other than Zurdo Ramírez versus Chris Billam-Smith, which was a cruiserweight unification contest that went down in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where the WBO, of course, and the WBA titles were on the line. Now, before we get to that, thank you everyone who is here in attendance. We appreciate you. Those that will be listening back, another edition of Boxing Chit, as mentioned. So you are appreciated. And shout out to Jesus M says, what a performance by Zurdo. Zurdo number one from Mexico. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Ramirez versus Barboza. Boring. That's what Jesus mentions
Well,
there.
yeah,
So,
it wasn't the most exciting fight on the card. Definitely, I'll say that.
all right, good to go. Well, hey, Zurdo, Chris Billam-Smith, that one seemed to live up to it. Now, I haven't
Yeah.
seen these bars as I've mentioned. This is a card
Yeah.
I missed because of a local card that was taking place here. Now,
Mm.
leading into this, I thought that Chris Billam-Smith might get that victory over Zurdo Ramirez. He's a big guy, size wise,
Yeah.
and he's been fighting that cruiserweight certainly longer than Zurdo has. But looks
Mm.
like the results were a bit different. What were your thoughts of that contest there, Boz?
Yeah, it was, pretty. I mean, it turned out to be more one-sided for sure than I expected. I had Bill Smith only winning the first round, and then I gave all the rest to Zurdo. I
Mm.
actually scored also on fight score. Shout out.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I mean, it was still. I thought Bill Smith was brave. He's a very tough guy, definitely, but he got pummeled there. He got pummeled mostly, and he did score some punches. Otherwise, in the other rounds, round five, I know Chris Mannix gave round five to Bill Smith, but I didn't because I didn't think he did enough. But it was kind of close. But yeah, I mean, really, what a performance by Zurdo, and this just cements him as one of the top dogs at cruiserweight. And really, we cannot wait for another unification fight against Opetaya. And yeah, Bill Smith, I kind of expected Zurdo to win because I knew he was the better boxer. If not,
Yeah.
he's not the better puncher, but also I talked to this friend and we both agreed had Zurdo had more power, he would be really hard to beat. He would be sensational
Oh, yeah.
because he kept catching Bill Smith, like flush with that left hand all night almost, but he couldn't get him out of there. That's because he's not he used to be a super middleweight and
Mm-hmm.
even at super middleweight, he wasn't a really or light heavyweight. He wasn't really a thunderous puncher, but he had more power. Had more pop there, definitely. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of disappointing on account of Chris Billam-Smith's performance. But yeah, it was. I expected a little closer fight at least, but we got what we got, and just kudos to all props to Zurdo Ramirez. He
All right. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's interesting to hear. Coming from because I haven't seen it just mentioned, but I too thought it would be more of a fight put up by CBS in terms of especially him
yeah,
winning more than a round in your eyes, and I'll take that
yeah.
in
He,
terms of what you saw there. So that shows that yeah, the activity lacked because he just avenged his loss against Richard Reactor.
yeah,
So you think he's on the up and up, you know what I'm saying? And
that
hey,
was.
Zurdo is something serious, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he came out strong in the first round, Dylan Smith, but then after that, he just couldn't keep it up, and I don't know why, but I guess Zurdo was just too good,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah,
Hey, got to give
that's
Zurdo his props because he is one of those
yeah,
guys. Yeah, you're right. He not known as a power guy. He's always had the activity. Throws a lot
yeah.
of punches and everything. And I'd imagine, yeah,
He
that could certainly be a challenge there at cruiserweight because he's still been able to maintain that as he's gone up for the most part stylistically, continue to throw a
yeah,
lot of punches.
and for such a big, heavy-looking guy, he really, I mean, the way he boxes and moves really is impressive, because when you first see him in the ring, you would say, "Oh, he's just a slow, big, slow guy," but he's not really. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, indeed. There, real quick shout out to Mr. Pads. Appreciate you dropping by there, Mr. Pads, holding it down. Always great to have your insight and info. He says I really
yeah.
enjoyed the car, Josh and Bob, and of course he said the Zapata Farmer fight was super fun.
Farmer,
Again,
yeah, that
yeah, this
was a
one.
good
Oh
one.
yeah, we'll have to talk about that one because I heard some things that I wasn't expecting. In that
Very
contest.
close, yeah, very close. Yeah,
And shout out to Skywalker Boxing dropped in. Cheers there to you,
hey,
Skywalker. Be sure to go check him out, folks, on his channel, Skywalker Boxing Media. You see it there in the chat. And those hearing and listening, you'll get some content and entertainment over there on that end. Same as the case with Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. So cheers there to you, Bruce Gas. Be sure to check out Bruce Gass's channel. Go subscribe, like, has some entertaining content over there as well. And he does trivia. So you can join in the mix there on some trivia, even some boxing history trivia, which I really enjoyed there, Bruce. So appreciate you doing that for sure. Yeah, again, another edition of Boxing Chit. Josh here along with Boz. We're talking a little bit of the action from this past weekend. We were talking cruiserweight.
mm,
Zurdo Ramírez getting a victory over Chris Billam-Smith in that contest in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Riyadh season. This is a Golden Boy card. Big time. A lot of good fights on there. That one we were mentioning. Oh, real quick, just as it relates to that one, Boz. So, what do you think is next right here? Cruiserweight. How do you like the prospect of Zurdo Ramírez versus Jay Opataya or Jay Opataya?
yeah. That would be one hell of a fight, I think, because Opetaya has, he's only fought so far. Breedis is the only guy that is as good, or maybe, I don't know, even better than Zurdo. It's hard to say now. But anyway, he's the only guy he's beaten so far that was really that kind of level as a boxer, like technically. And yeah, so yeah, I would really love to see that fight. I don't know, really, it's hard to say now who would win it, but of course, Opetaya would be more likely to win by a stoppage, of
Mhm.
course, than Zurdo, and Zurdo would be more likely to win on points. So yeah, that would be a really exciting fight. I think a pretty even match. Yeah,
Yeah, I look forward to that one. If that gets made, I know that there is a belt. Someone else has one of the belts. I believe has a WBC belt or something of that nature. If I'm not
yeah.
mistaken, I could be thinking wrong, but unless Jay
Uh,
Opitaya has two belts or this.
IBF, he's got the IBF. I don't know
Okay,
who has. I think still that guy from Armenia holds the WBC. Who beat Makabu,
okay.
Mikhailian, yeah,
So not quite
Mikhailian,
ready for an undisputed cruiserweight title championship again as of yet.
yeah.
Okay.
So I would like to see really somebody unified all the four titles again, but I don't know when or if that will happen, and
Right.
that's a big question mark. Yeah,
That's crazy. It doesn't take long for those things to get split up and spread all across the world.
yeah. I
Uh,
think to add something, Zurdo would be a tough matchup for Opetaya because of his overall body size. He's a very big
oh yeah,
guy. He couldn't bully him Opetaya like he's used to doing with other
oh
opponents,
yeah.
and he would really, because of the skill of Ramirez, that it wouldn't be easy to land really that big
Hmm.
knockout punch or punches, whatever, for Opetaya. So it would take one hell of a performance from Opetaya to knock out Ramirez, definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully, yeah, we get that one because you do make a good point there. There's so many things I like about Opataya, but Zurdo, man, he has shown that he is one of the top dogs out there, and like you said, that activity size amazing. He was making 168. It's just is he's filled in well here at cruiserweight, probably a lot
Yeah,
better than certainly I thought he would, as well as probably many others, but he's filled out well, and it seems to be pretty ideal for him. He doesn't have to struggle or at least cut weight in the way that he did here prior, which I think is
mm,
a major plus for him, just being able to kind of be more towards where he naturally walks around at. So he seems to fit him well right there, and he's done pretty awesome here considering where he's at now in cruiserweight, or at least just having moved up in general. So I look forward to what he can
yeah.
continue to accomplish.
I think the reason why he looked a possible reason why he looked so poor against Bilbao was that he was struggling to make the 175 back then because
Yeah.
he did move up after that. So yeah,
Oh
hey,
yeah. Cheers to Rodolfo Rivera Jr. in the mix right there. We appreciate you there, Rodolfo Rivera Jr. Real quick, Mr. Pads mentions off topic Josh and Bob that came out today that Dillian White is fighting Ebenezer Teta December 15th.
yeah,
And I also heard Virgil Ortiz say he's planning on fighting in February on a Riyadh card. Now, I did see something, and I think it was Mo Boxing Most Problem. Shout out to them. So they posted something linking Dillian White to Derek, not maybe it's not Derek. It's someone else to Derek Chisora. Maybe it's not Dillian White, but I didn't know about the Dillian White thing right there. But it looks like he's going to get back in the mix. But of course, White and Chisora have fought a number of times. Oh yeah, what I'm thinking
yeah.
about is I was thinking Dillian White, but it was actually uh, Big Baby, the one Gerald Big Baby Miller versus
Oh yeah,
Derek
yeah.
Chisora.
That's a pretty good fight, a good matchup, I would say. Yeah, both guys very heavy and can hit, and yeah, that would be a good like
Oh yeah.
I would say bear scuffle. Yeah,
Yeah, certainly. Now, as it relates to Dillian White, it'll be interesting. We'll see how much he has left in the tank there. Baj,
yeah,
what do you
yeah.
think
I don't
there?
know. It's hard to say, but I would think not too much, but we will see anyway. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah. And of course, love to see Virgil Ortiz. It'll be interesting right there, Mr. Pads. I want to see who he'll be matched up against because um, it's 154 and we have some people that are tied up, but maybe he can get Boots Ennis up there, and that would be a heck of a matchup. But I doubt that's going to happen right now, though. But that would be a heck of a matchup were it to happen. Now, Mr. Paz mentioned Josh. You should have seen Collazo dominating CP Freshmar. He knocked him down multiple times and stopped him with a gorgeous body shot, and is unified now with the ring
yeah.
as well. All right, yeah, yeah. We got
Yeah,
to talk
those,
about that when Boz here off air was mentioning it. Man, I've
yeah,
been big
those,
on Oscar Collazo. I think he's the real freaking deal. And then he got knockout CP Freshmart in the ring right there, Thai fighter, which they do a lot of fighting over there. And sometimes the guys you never know how they're gonna look until they get here or get tested against another elite level guy
mm,
outside of Thailand. And I
yeah,
guess
he
this is one
was.
of those instances right there. What are your thoughts on
Neil,
that matchup there, Boz?
yeah, I mean, Neil Tron, they said was the longest reigning champion before last night in all of boxing. They said so.
Wow.
That was quite a victory for
Yeah.
Collazo. Yeah, I mean, he got it with those right check hooks. Man, that was
Oh yeah.
That timing and precision and power, that was really amazing. But just the way he just put his punches together, Collazo, in the whole fight pretty much, and the way he moved, and I
Yeah.
mean, Trump put up a fight, yeah, definitely he did, but he was just unable to really score with something really telling in that fight, and because Collazo was just too good simply for him, and he's the king. He is the name, the major name in this division. However, the only problem, it's not a very rich or strong division. Not that many big names. So
Yeah. He's
yeah,
already knocked them off for the most part.
yeah. So he will probably have to move up, a division or two, so to get that really big, yeah,
Yeah.
pay per view kind of, style endorsement, whatever you call it. Yeah, but he was very impressive, Colazo, and I know you talk a lot about him here as well, and was really complimentary and had high praise for him. And now I see why. And now I see you were
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, he's certainly one to watch right there. And of course,
Yeah,
you all that don't know, he's a minimum weight fighter. So that's up
yeah,
to 105 pounds. So those are small on the smaller side for sure.
mm,
And of course, the lower weights in general, there's a lot of top level fighters flowing through there. When you get to minimum weight, it's just a matter of who's down at that weight in that area right there. So
yeah,
oftentimes those minimum weight guys, they will eventually move up. So it'll be interesting because he's not a huge guy, but it'll be interesting to see kind of what he can carry weight wise. Now that being said,
yeah,
stylistically, I think he can match up with pretty much anyone if you just watch how he operates there in the ring. And he's one of those guys when we think about fighters who understand the entertainment aspect of it as well. He goes for it. He's not
yeah.
scared to take a risk or two. In there, I've seen him hurt
Yeah,
and all of that stuff and bounce back.
he doesn't play safe, definitely,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
avoid
that's what I like
losing.
about him. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's getting hurt.
everybody wants to see a fighter like that. Definitely, always is gunning for
Hmm.
a knockout, and yeah,
Yeah, I
and
think
he
that's
is
what kind of
probably,
separates people.
yeah, probably at the moment he's the best Puerto Rican fighter. I would say probably,
I'd
yeah,
agree. I'd
yeah,
agree. He's a champion. I think Jonathan Gonzalez, he may still have a title, right? Or I have to double check on that. But yeah, he was the only champion at one point, Jonathan Gonzalez. But Collazo is a
yeah,
champion now, and I think that Collazo is the top dog out of Puerto Rico for sure right now. I felt that to be the case here or since about 3 fights ago for him. You just look at what he's able to do, and he doesn't have a ton of fights. So I don't recall what this one is, but I'm sure it's right around 10 or something like that. So he's
mm,
been on the kind of fast track as far as getting up to that title level. I think he won the title at 6 fights or something like that, or in his seventh fight,
yeah.
one of the two,
I
something of that
think
nature.
he came in with a record of 10-0 now, but now he's 11-0, of course, with 8 knockouts. So yeah,
Okay, cool. Jesus M says Collazo number 10 pound for pound, no doubt. You got to get some love right there. Hey, I'm not against it right there, especially knocking out CP Freshmart, longtime champion, apparently
mm,
longest reigning champion there, as Boz mentioned. So I'm with
yeah,
that for sure. I'll put him in there. Rodolfo mentions, I think Jonathan Gonzalez is a champion at 108. Okay, so yeah, Gonzalez. So he's a Puerto Rican fighter. So there's a potential, I guess, Puerto Rico versus Puerto Rico if Collazo moves up. You have
yeah,
a unified champion from 105 taking on the champion there at 108. So that's a potential matchup right there. So I'll be looking forward to that if it actually happens. So he'll have some options as he moves up here. And let's say he can get to the likes of 112 or 115, then that opens up things a little bit more as well. But we'll start with just 112 because that is a big jump as far as him getting there compared to where he is now at minimum weight. So
Oh, what happened? He'll be back. Right. There
Back in
he
the
is.
mix here, folks. Back in the mix. Had one of those. Hey, got me excited here talking boxing. Pull
Yeah.
myself out of the
It's too easy for your hand to
chat.
start moving wildly.
I use the trackpad, instead of a mouse. I use a little trackpad, so sometimes you can you can put some fingers there and it'll just throw it off for sure. But no, good stuff right there. Okay, Rodolfo says, never mind. He just lost it a month ago. I knew he had fought recently. That's why I wasn't sure. I haven't seen that contest. But Anthony Olasquaga, I may have said that right. I may have. Jesus M mentions Oscar Duarte, Akhmedov. My
Yeah.
scorecard was a draw. Oh, yeah, that was one on there. That opened things up. And I had started to watch that one, their buys, as a
Oh,
matter of fact, but I didn't get to any of the rest. And I didn't finish that one here last night because I was going to try to watch them. But that opened things up. For what I saw there is, of course, they match up well in terms of they have a similar look and fighting style generally. Duarte and what's his name? Akhmedov, yeah.
hospital,
And
yeah.
and both of them, hey, they are strong, solidly
Yeah.
built, and
Very,
they were throwing some pretty solid punches, But I didn't
very.
finish the contest. But what do you think of it?
Yeah, they look very muscular for that
Yeah,
division.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a very close fight. I thought I would have no problem with a draw. I mean, I didn't score it, however, but I I thought it was very good and a very intense fight all the way through, and it really delivered for the fans, for the people watching. So yeah, I mean, maybe Duarte was the one who was a little more in charge, I would say, but it was
Yeah.
Alfredo also scored with good punches as well. A very tough guy. Both guys are, but yeah, I would say probably it was a draw or just maybe 1 point win for Duarte, maybe. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. So Jesus M, hey, you're in a similar territory, or Boz is in a similar territory right there. So I've seen, yeah, both of the guys. Of course, Duarte, he's bouncing back from, of course, his high profile loss was to Ryan Garcia there a
Mm.
few, well, maybe a couple years back, I guess at this point. But he's always been an exciting guy. Akhmedov as well. But I thought Duarte, yeah, he's the guy that would get in there, stand and bang, and that's kind of where these two guys were at, sort of
Yeah.
matchup wise. Now it probably didn't deliver in the sense of one of those uber classics that we see when you have two guys that are standing in there and trading, a la Brandon Rios and the guy out of Colorado, Mike Alvarado. Remember when those two guys met up, two stand and trade guys? They turned into like a classic style matchup right there. But these are two guys that would bang. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. And so we'll follow track. This was at, let me see, super lightweight, so 140 pounds, 140
Yeah.
pound division. There's opportunity there for sure. Definitely, I could say opportunity. Some names: Teofimo Lopez is there, Devin Haney. So there
Yeah.
definitely will be some chances for them to continue to proceed forward. And then, hey, there's another young crop of guys who are coming up in and around there as well. But it'll be interesting. Oh yeah, Gary Antoine Russell, he's there. So
Oh yeah.
it's a pretty solid division. So we'll
For
see how they
sure.
work things out. Now, another fight that was on that card, or not Jose, but William Zepeda taking on
Yeah.
Tevin Farmer. And I thought Tevin Farmer was as good as done. He didn't look too hot in his last contest, and he's been fairly inactive over the last several years. But to my surprise, and
Yeah.
shout out to Rodolfo who let me know, this turned out to be somewhat of a shocker in terms of how this fight went compared to what we thought there. I'm sure
Yeah.
you thought that, Bob. And Zepeda came in undefeated and was pretty much running through everybody. So it was likely, and even in the picks beforehand, I thought he would stop Tevin Farmer. I was just like, that offensive onslaught would be too
Yeah.
much. But what did you
It
think
looked
overall?
It looked like that after 3 rounds, but you know what happened? I thought Zepeda won the first three definitely. He was far more active and landing more punches. Farmer kind of looked timid in the first 3 rounds. He even started leaning toward leaning at Zepeda. But then what
Mhm.
happened? I had to go to the toilet right up before the fourth round, and then the Farmer scored a knockdown. I heard later on in
Yeah,
that round. So what? Oh man, I'm such a such bad luck.
right.
So I understand he won round five, and then I joined again at round six. So yeah, it was a what I saw for the rest of the fight. Farmer kept landing some good shots, but he wasn't active enough. I wouldn't really say he deserved to win. No, I don't think so. But he did impress still, you know, because he scored some really good punches and kind of hurt Zepeda a few times. Well,
Which I
I
was
don't think
surprised
he
about
was.
hurting
Yeah,
him.
yeah, he's not really a puncher, so that was a big surprise. You know, got eight knockouts out of 33. You know,
Yeah.
so, but Zepeda just wasn't able to really get him in trouble, Farmer, and that's why it went the distance. But I'm satisfied. It was a split decision, even so. But I
Okay.
thought Zepeda deserved it on volume, you know, and being more active and all that. But you might say maybe Farmer looked more kind of spectacular in a way because he
Okay.
scored those
Yeah.
really eye-catching punches. So yeah, that's how
So
I saw it anyway. Yeah.
yeah, so Farmer A still has something left in the tank. Now, you think with Zepeda, do you see this as one of those situations where, hey, this was just the matchup in itself on this particular night, or do you think it's a situation where if he's in there with a guy who skill wise that is more of their strong suit, this could be a problem for him moving forward?
Zepeda, you mean?
Zepeda.
Yeah, and it can definitely. I don't know why. I know he's got a really a high knockout percentage, but last night his punches. I think also his trainer said before a round started that he should stop pulling his punches. It looked like he wasn't really throwing them with full force. And, you know, I don't know why. It looked very kind of yeah. Didn't because Farmer was never really hurt. I mean,
Mm.
really hurt. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
you expect from a guy with 27 knockouts in 31 wins that he can
yeah.
knock out, you know, people with not that many punches anyway. But yeah, this I was kind of surprised how not too heavy or hard his punches were the Zepedas, you know, and
Yeah.
Farmer seemed to take them well, pretty well.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty
yeah.
interesting. That is pretty interesting.
Mm.
Zepeda, yeah, of course, he's been on a tear, and he's probably been one of the more exciting guys that has been at 135 here to crop up. And we've been throwing his name out there with a lot of individuals. Of course, I haven't seen this contest, and I'm not saying that this changes the dynamic a ton or whatnot, but his name has been thrown out there with the likes of Shakur Stevenson, for instance, as someone we want
Mm.
to see. And of
Yeah.
course, leading up to this point, it seems to have been a pretty solid matchup from an overall standpoint. But certainly, Tevin Farmer, who is more of the boxer type, who is able to operate and get to this level
Yeah.
because of his skill set. He, I guess, has shown that, hey, you throw a few wrinkles in the mix there with Zepeda, then maybe that changes the dynamic a bit. And I think we would all agree that Shakur Stevenson would certainly be tough to deal with
Favorite.
from a
Yeah.
boxing skill set standpoint. So that makes me
Yeah.
wonder about that matchup, how it would ultimately look.
I would favor really Shakur unless Cepeda turned in a completely different performance than last night. I can only see him getting dominated by Shakur, maybe even stopped down the stretch. Who knows? But yeah, I don't think he can at this point, I don't see him beating Shakur Stevenson for sure.
All
So
right.
yeah, as you said, he's been on a tear, but it is bound to stop sometime,
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. And to segue real quick, since we're here, and it reminds me of something. And of course, it's just one fight, and one fight doesn't necessarily tell the full picture in the story. But another one we didn't get to talk about that happened a week ago was Boots Ennis taking on Karen Chuzian or whatever his name is,
Chukagian, Chukagian.
Chukagian. And that's another one where, of course, Boots is this guy who's kind of on a tear and a world beater outside of taking on Karen. And even in this matchup, which was their second one, he had a lot of trouble with him, or at least he was getting hit with a ton of shots. And I scored that fight. I had it 113, 112 in favor of Boots, but it could have realistically gone either way, and I did think Boots got the victory, but certainly he had the stylistic matchup problem with Karen, and I wonder if that will be the case with, say, for instance, Zepeda Stevenson. But just since I brought that one up in terms of, did you catch that one right there where Boots took on Karen?
I didn't watch it live, but I watched the day after the highlights only. So yeah, it was a pretty even fight, and Chukagian, he counter punched well. I thought. Yeah, he did a lot of counter punching, which was clever. You don't want to be the first guy with a puncher like Ennis to throw a punch.
Pretty skilled. He's got some skills to him for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely, and he's a tough guy as well. He's the only guy who lasted twice with Ennis, like lasted 12 rounds twice with Ennis. Or was it a 10 rounder, this one? I don't know.
No, I think it was 12 rounder.
12 round. All right. It was an IBF title fight, right? So
or it was a title fight. Yeah.
So
dead or eliminator, but
I don't know how I would have scored it, but it looked it looked like Ennis had maybe a little more. He landed a little more definitely, but it was a close fight and very impressive. Well, I'm very impressed at Chukagian, really, because lately Ennis has been really destroying everybody, and I mean, Avanesian couldn't take more than 5 rounds, and he also knocked out a very tough and promising Royman Villa.
He did. Kind of handled him, and Chukagian, if he had more power, that would be a plus for him too.
He's not a power puncher, obviously, so he's a tough guy, and he's just a good boxer.
Indeed. Cheers there, Technique. Appreciate you dropping by there. Technique, salute to you there, buddy. With Salvador Sanchez in the picture there on Ring Magazine, who's making a revamp, or they're coming back in the mix here. Ring Magazine was purchased by Turkey Al-Ashish, and they're revamping it, and they're going to bring back the print editions as well. So it's not just going to be digital. So it's going to be some print. They're trying to restore order there. So it should be interesting. We'll see. But I don't mind it. I like the print version. Now, to top off that card there, Boz is changing of the guard in some sense, as Rodolfo mentioned, but it was a 10-round super lightweight contest between former champion Jose Ramírez. Jose, what is his nickname? I can't think of his nickname right now at the minute, but Jose Ramírez, basically out of California, that Fresno area, I believe, and one of the big time, I guess you can say, stars of the sport in terms of he would bring people out whenever he had contests out in that area. They would come out and support heavily, taking on Arnold Barboza, who's long been looking for a big name. I've long felt that Barboza is a pretty solid fighter. And I think that I felt that Barboza, hey, he just needed an opportunity against one of these guys. Even though when he did fight someone here, like maybe a fight or two ago, wasn't necessarily the best. And I guess some have said that with this one, probably wasn't, you know, too exciting. That being said, we got it. Ramírez versus Arnold Barboza, who I think is just a good all-around fighter in terms of has a
Yeah.
good mix of everything. What are your thoughts there, and the prospect of what Barboza could do? Say, on the likes of some of these other guys like Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, or whatever.
Yeah, Barboza is also a counter puncher and a technical fighter. Well, obviously, he's not a puncher, so he doesn't have many knockouts, but he can really counter you all night long, and that's what he did last night. And Ramirez, he tried, of course, but he just wasn't able to get him in trouble. And he threw a lot of punches, but not that many connected. I guess not enough anyway. And the fight was competitive all the way through, but Barboza was simply the slicker guy and better guy in the end. And even the trainer of Ramirez, Robert Garcia, he looked really, not in good spirits after the fight. He knew that his guy had lost, so yeah, at least there was no delusions there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
Barboza would definitely be a tough test for anybody. I mean,
yeah.
Teofimo or anybody, that you mentioned, Haney, because he's a slick guy. And Haney, he hasn't even fought that many slick guys because he's a
Yeah.
very slick guy himself. So I guess people think that will not be that will be a boring matchup, but why not? Let's put them there together, him and Barboza. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. No, that's good to know. So yeah, I like Barboza. Yeah, I would like to see him against Haiti, Teofimo, any of those guys
Yeah.
there at the top level, and I think he will accommodate himself very, very well. Now, with that, as far as, and this may be self-explanatory in itself, given Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis, but do you get the sense that Ramírez, sort of like that group, that time is over now or it has passed?
Yeah, I don't know really. He doesn't look good for him at the moment. I think the loss to Taylor kind of did something to him. Definitely, he
Yeah,
wasn't, because it was the first time he wasn't able to really achieve anything by bullying somebody. He's a
yeah.
bully kind of fighter. He's very kind of
Mm-hmm.
a pressure
Getting there,
fighter.
digging
Yeah,
in.
Ramirez, swarmer, and whatever you want to call it. So whenever he's not successful there, he cannot, he struggles to win anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, maybe kind of it there as far as that at that top level, that elite level or whatever. But yeah, he's had
yeah.
some great
He
fights
had
that he was
his,
a part of and all that stuff.
he had his successes, but now I think he's, at that stage where he cannot do much more longer. So he should focus on a little smaller fights, not top fighters, and fighting
Yeah.
some kind of, mid in the middle somewhere, not at the bottom or not at the top. Yeah.
Yeah. So exciting fighter for sure. So yeah, we'll see how he bounces back. But hey, sky's the limit for Barboza. I feel like he's one of those guys kind of pretty much in his prime and hey, ready to go for whomever steps in
Yeah.
there. Uh Shout out Bruce Gass says within 3 years the ring belt will be the most important title in boxing. I'd like to see it there. Get some of that prestigious
Yeah.
sort of
That's a
feeling
pretty
and weight behind it that it once had there, Bruce.
that's a very prestigious title, really. I mean, they don't give it out to anybody. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. And it definitely goes back, and being in
Yeah.
that lineage of that title, hey, that's
Hmm.
something strong to have on the resume right there. Just the respect that is tied to it as well. Uh, Technique mentions what are your opinions on Kaylee Taylor win? Now,
I didn't watch that fight, but I read that it was a controversial decision once again, like the first one.
yeah.
So it's better than I didn't watch it. I would just get really pissed off because I think people know by now that she is getting protected and by her management and all that. So I'm really sick and tired of watching her get undeserved decisions, and it is her third now, I believe, by now. First one
Well,
was against
Delphine
Persoon.
Pursuit, I thought she lost that for sure.
Yeah, first Delphine Persoon fight, she definitely lost. Then those two Serrano fights. So yeah, I just don't know what somebody must do to get a decision. The only one so far, of course, has been Chantel Cameron,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
because she pretty much dominated her really, like real
Oh
really
Chantel, yeah,
big, big time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now, I was able to catch the fight there. I did think that it was a heck of a fight, very good fight, action packed fight. Not unlike
right.
the first one. I scored it, fight night scores, and I had it 95-94 in favor of Amanda Serrano. Now, I do think it was a fairly close fight. One of the controversial pieces of it, of course, is the headbutting situation or
Yeah,
head clash. There were some unintentional head clashes, left a big gash.
I
Yeah,
saw that cut. I saw that looked bad, really.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the big gash on Amanda Serrano. Now, I don't think it was intentional, but stylistically, Katie Taylor, especially when she gets tired, she's kind of leaning forward, trying to dig in, and her head is kind of there. It's almost the kind of bad technique they teach you. Try to teach you not to do. You don't want
Yeah,
your head over your uh toe or the front of your foot, and she naturally kind of just does it because I think she's tired going in and trying to land some
this
shots or
guy is
whatnot.
a
And
this guy here is a Katie Taylor fan. Well, all right.
yeah, and
I guess that's. Hmm.
oh yeah, she is a class act. I think she is 100% a class act.
The
Yeah, she
problem
seems
is
to be
the
super nice.
judging is a big problem. It's not her fault. I guess she's getting these, getting favorably treated, but still, it's very wrong. I feel.
Yeah, I thought
And
this one was pretty close. I don't know. I thought it was pretty
yeah,
close.
but she did. From what I read, she got some, shellacking there. She got a beating, in many
Now,
rounds.
yeah, now so sort of like the first fight, some of the
Yeah,
bigger punches, the heavier punches at least, some of the heavier punches came from Serrano, but Katie had her fair share as well. I think probably in bulk, maybe Serrano. Now I had Serrano
yeah.
by a
They
single
could
point.
have scored a draw. I feel it wouldn't hurt anybody. But I hate that they have to give it to somebody, even though especially if the fight was as close as you said. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
But
draw would
Amanda
have.
did throw the better punches. As far as I read, I cannot say because I didn't see it, but that's what I read anyway.
Yeah,
That
you
she
got to check
was.
it out.
Yeah,
Now
I
the
know that
last
she did
fight,
so in the first fight as well. I watched the first fight. Yeah,
yeah. Now I gave Katie Taylor the first fight. I thought that Katie came on there at the tail end, but
but
she
it
was
was
hurt.
close. Still, it could have
The
been a draw.
Now, as far as who was most
Why
hurt
not?
in that first fight, it was definitely Katie Taylor, and you could say the same in this one as far as who was most hurt.
So
Now, Amanda, she
yeah,
hurt Katie Taylor at the end of the very first round, had her rock that she walked back to her corner. So,
yeah, of
Amanda,
course.
she has a way of catching Katie Taylor, and she's
Yeah,
routinely done so.
but Taylor can't take a punch, so otherwise she would get stopped, of course. So that's why she, escapes with those controversial decisions. Later on, she starts coming on, and that's what maybe the judges like to see also. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying, why can't it be a draw sometimes? I know it's a big fight, but still, I think these judges don't want to see. Nobody wants to see a draw, so that's why. We have
Yeah,
those BS split decisions and majority decisions, and you
yeah, it
name it.
needs to be super close for sure. Hey, sometimes draws happen, and
Yeah,
we had to get her done again right there. But yeah, I felt bad for Amanda Serrano. I thought she got this one for
yeah.
sure. Um,
But I guess she knows she didn't lose. In her heart, she knows she deserved to at least get a draw, if nothing. So probably, yeah,
and when you see it, you can see the situation with the head that I was talking about. Now we've seen it in other fights and all that stuff.
yeah. That's
It's not
another
just
thing.
this.
That should be. I don't know what she penalized.
She had a point taken away. She did have a
Right.
point taken away.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's pretty unfair, when you have that happen also because that
yeah,
makes it so hard for the guy, the woman in this case that got bought to fight on. So yeah, maybe that they should have stopped the fight and gone to the scorecards. Maybe that would be more just. I know.
I think it happened
The
in the
same,
sixth round. Now the doctor
same,
said it was
yeah,
good, but it was a big little gash that was there.
yeah.
So
That's the
of course,
problem. The same doctor that didn't stop the Fundora Tsu fight. What the hell? I mean, Tsu was
oh yeah.
having streams of blood. Like, oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with these doctors. Sometimes you see
Yeah,
some stuff. I'm like, oh, you sure that should
crazy,
keep going right there? It's
crazy,
pretty
man. I don't
crazy.
get it.
These
Yeah.
dots are different right there. Technique says Amanda has heavy hands. Indeed, she does. So she seemed to be the more
Well,
heavy-handed of the two. But Katie Taylor did land some big ones as well. But
yeah,
they,
Katie's not a big puncher. That's she's never been. But
yeah, they didn't rock Amanda in the same way that Amanda was able to
yeah.
rock Katie.
But few women are, to be
Yeah,
honest.
true.
Here, few women fighters are really, really big punches. So yeah,
Yeah.
before before you had that one from France, Matisse, Sophie. She was really, she could punch, and Wolf could punch,
Oh yeah,
but
and
there
Wolf
are,
certainly.
yeah, only a few you had. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, very interesting right there. And of
Mm.
course, this fight makes you wonder about a potential third or whatever. But whether that happens is another question. Maybe not, considering Katie Taylor got the nod in both of them. The fans were booing.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that would be. I mean, we don't know what will happen. Probably again, it will. Maybe this time it will be a draw at most. But yeah, I'm pretty sick of these unnecessary trilogies and whatnot.
Yeah.
Quadrilogies. Even. Yeah,
Now this
it's
one
all
would
just
deliver
for,
right here. This one would
yeah.
deliver.
It's a money maker, right? It's a
Yeah.
money maker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same as when Rafael Marquez fought Israel Vasquez the fourth time. Everybody
Oh
knows
yeah, that one was not a
Vasquez
good
was
one.
washed up. He was.
Yeah, that was definitely not a good one right there.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have done
So
that one. So that was
mm,
definitely a money grab just off the name value or least of it. So shout out
yeah,
Trey Titan dropped in, says Amanda didn't care about to cut it off. Nope, nope. She's like, I still gotta go. But Trey Titan, appreciate you dropping by there, buddy.
but
We're just talking about that. Who did you think won that fight, Trey Titan? I had it 95-94 Serrano, but it was very close.
that's a close. Not close. That's a cool nickname. You gotta say, Trey Titan.
Oh yeah, Trey Titan keeping it 100 out there. Trey Titan says Taylor versus Baumgartner will probably be next. That would be good. Now Alicia Baumgartner, she wants to fight Amanda Serrano though, so very interesting, right? But I'll take Taylor versus Baumgartner, and Baumgartner, I think
Baumgartner
he has
is.
the power to potentially stop Katie Taylor.
Yeah, she is so strong, but isn't she at 130? Did she go up now too?
I think she would go up. I think she would
Right.
for this. Now this was done at a catch weight of 137, and well, yeah, this Taylor Serrano too was 137, or I guess 138 was the catch weight, but they both were 137 and some change. And yeah, Baumgartner, I'm assuming it would happen at 135 or something like that. Or I don't know what she'd be willing to go, because Katie had went up to 140, but I think she can make I think anywhere in between there would be cool. And I think that Baumgartner would do it. She'd probably go up to 140 for all we know. Trey Titan had Serrano winning as well.
I believe she will definitely grow into it. Fine. Yeah, she's a strong girl. What's this? This is some spammer there, man.
I know
what
this is from Facebook. I'm about to delete it.
Go away. We're not interested. Right, Telegram, yeah.
Yeah, that's a Facebook spam message.
Yeah.
There's
what live match? The fights are over already. What the
right.
what
There's no match lot, but it could be somewhere in the world. But interesting. Technique says Baumgartner's a bit too big. No, she'd be coming up right there. Technically speaking, she'd be coming up their technique, so it could work out. That being said, we know that Amanda Serrano, she has come up and she fought these Katie Taylor and some others, of course, moving up.
Yeah, Katie Taylor is a pretty big girl as well. So yeah, she's not some skinny small woman. Yeah.
Now Chantel Cameron, she was bigger than Katie Taylor. So that moved 140, that made a difference for sure. But Katie might belong at 135 more so, you know.
Maybe, yeah, but 140, it's not a big difference anyway. But had it been 147, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Not huge, but Chantel Cameron, you know, she had some size on her. And I do think Katie won that second fight with Cameron.
A few people in history have gone over like straight from 135 to 147. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Now also there, Boz, speaking of that, we had when we talked about Abel Ramos, him and Mario Barres for a welterweight title. I honestly was saying to myself while the match was going on, the fact that Abel Ramos was fighting for a title shows you the dire states of the 147-pound division. But hey, he put up a fight. You know, whether Barrios is a champion that we can hold in high regard, that's a question, of course. But that was a good fight.
Yeah, that was a really good fight, man. I mean, a lot of action. Both guys were dropped, and I didn't also join it right away. I came in when the third round had begun, and I didn't understand. Right, Ramos was down in the first round, I believe, but then in the sixth, man, wow. Because Barrios looked like he was in control until the sixth round, and then he got banged, rocked, and dropped, and Ramos kept landing good punches for the rest of the fight, pretty much. But it was a draw in the end, and I guess it was fair, you know. But Barrios just showed, and I don't know, he's just too susceptible to these punches, and because he's so tall, you know, for that division. Even though Ramos is not that much shorter, but he is still short, you know, because he's so tall. He is really vulnerable to these uppercuts, and you know.
Man, he looked like he had been in a car crash there, Barrios, after the fight. You know what I'm saying? I thought he might have had a broken nose or something, but imagine Boots or somebody just teeing off on him. You know what I'm saying? Because Ramos, like I said, was giving up just natural size.
Yeah, he's a skinny guy, 6 feet. Oh my god! Yeah, he's very tall for welterweight.
So as it relates to Barrios, he keeps the title. For how long is the question, you know what I'm saying? But I guess it's all depend on who he's matched up against. I want to see him, if he's still going to fight at 147, I want to see Stanionis get a shot. You know, I think Stanionis would be a problem for him because Stanionis, he's not a puncher, but he has the power. I think he really wrecked Mario Barrios.
He's he's more like a volume puncher. But a really good boxer, yeah.
Shout out to Clubber D up in the thing. Dion Chubbs up in the thing. Clubber D, Ball and Buzz podcast. Be sure to go check out, folks.
Chubbs.
Clubber D, he says, I thought Barrios was done after the knockdown. Nice boots to Norman Jr. That's a wrap. Yeah, he did not look good. And I like Barrios when he was at 140 pounds. He's of course here operating at 147. He has a title. That being said, it's not I wouldn't say one of the
Barrios.
stronger champions, but he has a
Yeah,
title.
Barrios definitely doesn't have that much power. That was evident, I think, last night also. Because he was throwing and throwing, but just couldn't hurt Ramos. And Ramos really hurt him several times, apart from that knockdown. And it almost looked like he would stop him. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
definitely.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he's just lucky to escape out of there. Dion Clubs mentioned that being called out Barrios, maybe a fight overseas. Being
Yeah,
just sees an opportunity. He sees blood in the water right there.
that would be probably a winnable fight for Conor. I would say he's
Yeah.
still quite a lot shorter, but he has fought taller guys in the past, and like Algieri and Van Herden, and he
Hmm.
knocked them out. So, but he hasn't fought like 2 years or something. So it would go probably 3 years until he would get a fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And overseas, maybe not in England or anything,
yeah.
because he can't
All
fight
that Yeah, all that nonsense with Eubank Jr. has kept him, on the sideline for too long. Yeah,
Yeah, that's not happening. It doesn't seem.
yeah.
And you
He's
think,
one of those guys that are their worst enemy. I think that's what you can say about Conor Ben. His behavior goes against him and all that.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, old Connor. Yeah, he certainly is one of those individuals. Very interesting for sure. Now,
He's his father times three, like Nigel when he was young, but that was like times three. That's Connor, three times worse than than Nigel
mhm.
was.
Hey, he's looking for. Hey, he's looking to get something out there. He's lost that steam. And he's trying to get it back for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Connor, he's interesting. That WWE style rules or reviews they had last time around was very interesting. Techniques thinks Eubank and Ben is gonna happen. Maybe I heard Eubank being thrown out there
No,
with
I
Canelo.
don't think so. I mean, Eubank is barely making 160, so how is he gonna make 154? We know Ben cannot fight above 154,
It's gonna
so
be some crazy catch weight.
yeah, 157 something like Bernard Hopkins versus De La Hoya.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a catch weight that's crazy. Now Eubank was thrown out there with Canelo. I don't know if it's serious. Uh, Probably not. But Canelo's gonna be fighting in May of next year. Currently, no
All
opponent,
right.
and
Of course. When else?
yeah,
Cinco de
right.
Mayo.
There's currently
Yeah.
no opponent, but I don't know who the opponent could potentially be. Well, I know some potential names, but as far as names that would draw, makes you wonder. Maybe Eubank. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we know what would happen.
Well, yeah, they'll find somebody for him. I know they will. Yeah.
Technique says I don't think the Canelo fight is going to happen. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I would take the under there along with you there. Technique, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I just
I'm
saw
so
that
sick
it was
of
thrown out there.
I'm so sick of this speculation. Crawford's gonna fight Canelo, then this guy, that guy. Never happened. Just
Yeah, yeah,
make a fight that is makeable and shut up. Yeah.
yeah. Rumor for Canelo was in Europe in May, says the Chubb Club. So yeah, we'll see. We'll certainly see how that
Well,
goes.
I will.
I
Yeah,
think he
that
would
will
draw
be.
well over there too. It would turn out.
Oh yeah. By the way, just have to mention fast. You know that Croatian super middleweight I was talking about before, Plantic. He
Yeah.
fought the weekend before in England, I believe, against some guy. I don't remember. Not a big name, but he won by a decision.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Super middleweight.
Yeah, Luka
Okay.
Plantic. That's his name.
Lunchich. Yeah, I remember you mentioning him. Okay, this could be a
Right.
name thrown in the mix there.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, it could be Plantage. Okay, Luca Plantage. Technique says I love to get Crawford versus Canelo. That's a big jump right there, Technique.
Yeah. Nah, Crawford would be too small. Well, not height wise, but size wise, weight wise, definitely.
Yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
feel as well. That's a big. I'll watch it, but yeah, Plantage. So he's 1109 KO. So yeah, he's getting some. Seems like he's
Yep.
got some power to him. Oh, he's fought
He
at
does.
170 as high as 178 as well. So
75.
and he's
Mm.
11. Okay,
All
all
right.
right. I'm gonna be on the
Yeah, he's.
lookout for him.
Yeah, I hope he gets soon enough. Anyway, if some fights somebody, he's kind of semi name at least, if nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I was gonna mention real quick. It was on that boots card, but Bam Rodriguez, how good does he look? You know, pound for pound, looking talent right there. Took out Guevara,
Yeah. Yeah, that
Guevara.
was amazing. 3 round KO, third round. Wow, man. I don't really have words. words. He
Yeah,
was not fighting any chump. That guy was no chump. So
yeah,
he, that was one hell of a destruction, really. Yeah,
yeah.
he's definitely the best guy. I mean, well, he's at super flyweight, right? Yeah, he is. So he's definitely the best guy there right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, certainly. Skywalker says I was listening but ready for the day. All right, cheers there, Skywalker. Mbili, cheers there to your Ernest says Mbili. Oh yeah, Mbili 168 versus Canelo. That'll
Yeah,
be
he's an exciting fighter there. Yeah.
I was chatting with Rodolfo, and I think it was mentioned that Mbili and um, what's the guy? Pacheco, they were ordered
So
for an eliminator with the I can't remember if it's
that's
IBF or something like that. So that would
that's
be an
a huge difference in height. But yeah, I like that
yeah,
fight.
it
Right.
would be. And Billy seems to find a way to work his way in there and get those
Yeah.
shots off, but it would be an interesting one. So
Mm.
that would be one I'd be looking forward to. You know, then of course Iglesias, who fought recently, he'd be an interesting one as well against any of those
Yeah.
guys.
Oh yeah, Osleys. Yeah, he's very good, definitely. Mm.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Skywalker says I got good news. We're getting Oliver
Oh,
McCall before his fight on Tuesday night.
wow.
Now you talking
I
about
love.
Oliver McCall, the old Oliver McCall? Am I
Yeah,
thinking?
one of my favorite heavyweights from '90s, definitely.
No, yeah. I think man, so Oliver McCall is gonna try to fight. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Oliver McCall is gonna be fighting. Interested. All right. The good to go.
That
Justice said,
guy
"Oh,
is
that's a cool fight." You know,
he's
Oliver
a
McCall is
super.
making a comeback there. By
Yeah, he's a superman. I say he's undestructible. I mean, he's like what, close to 60 now. That's
yeah, that's
crazy.
crazy. But hey,
Yeah,
we're seeing more of this.
59. Yeah.
Not that it's good. Rodolfo says Billy versus Pacheco is being guided as the IBF eliminator. Yeah, that would be crazy right there. That'd be a crazy one
Right.
for sure. Uh, Ernest says Billy can't just come through the front door on Pacheco. Pacheco had that taser ready. Yeah, certainly. He's got that size to him, and he's patient enough where, hey, he can work it out. So it would be interesting. This cat doesn't hop back in here with a different
This
profile.
guy again. Oh no.
I know. I blocked that one. It was a different one. We got a
Oh,
million of
that's
them.
another account. Yeah, I see now. You're right. Yeah,
That's
they
crazy.
will never stop, man.
I'm not even in there anymore. That's good. Sanctioned fight on country box. All right, good to go, Skywalker. So Oliver McCall is going to be fighting on country box.
All right. Yeah, yeah. I see his opponent is some guy with 22 losses, so of course it's a 4 round fight, safe for him. Yeah.
I'm with you, Rodolfo. That's funny. During his career, okay.
But
Yeah,
man, that that knockout of Lewis he did in '94, that was pretty amazing. That you had to have not just really good IQ, but the athleticism and all that. He had incredible athleticism, and he was fast. He could punch like hell. He could take punishment like nobody almost.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, he was just a Superman. That guy.
Oh yeah, certainly. So yeah, very interesting. The Atomic Bull, the nickname there.
Yeah,
But yeah, I remember him. I remember, yeah, with Lennox Lewis. That's like one that stands out.
it
That fight.
says. See what Ernest flip flop.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be a trip. It's gonna be a trip right there. It's definitely gonna be a trip. I'm gonna call
Yeah,
has
you can.
never been dropped even during sparring. That's what he's been telling people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can drop him. He's undroppable. I
Yeah.
mean, he did
Technique
drop Tyson in sparring for sure. Oh
technique that I
yeah,
nearly got sick all over myself Friday there when Mike Tyson was walking around bullocks naked. Oh yeah, Netflix. Hey, they had to get their camera work right.
yeah.
They
That
were showing too
that's
much.
not a pretty sight. That's not even
They
something
were
you want
giving
to
us
see.
too much of the raw behind the scenes right there.
Well, yeah, at least he now knows. He cannot fight like before. Of course, he's a yeah.
Oh
It was
yeah,
very delusional of him to think that he could just knock out a guy who is so young and moves like a lot faster, definitely, and has a lot more energy, tons more energy.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, oh yeah. That was one we didn't talk about right there. Of course, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. But yeah, Mike looked like an old man in
fighting.
there.
So,
Yeah, you're right. Mike said he has a Biden fixation. But it was funny. Hey, Mike keeping it real right there. But
when he
McCall
said,
talking about
"I
Jake
broke
Paul.
my back's broken." That was funny.
uh,
Spinal. I
yeah, I
broke
heard it
my
did
back.
trip. Yeah, right. And Jake
Oh
would
yeah.
gladly take the fight. Yeah,
By
Jake
the
would
way,
fight McCall.
talking about Playboy models, did you check out Jake Paul's girlfriend? Oh man, she was smoking hot.
Oh yeah, I know. He's trying to take her to that next level. Model
Yeah,
right there for sure.
I think she's Dutch, and there are many really gorgeous Dutch models. I
Oh,
know.
okay, okay. Yeah, she looks like she's about 6 foot something. Huh?
Yeah, tall. Yeah, they are very tall also over there, just like
Hmm.
here in Norway.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Gloves, Richard Tyson walking around looking like Rikishi. Yes, sir.
Rikishi, right? The wrestlers too.
Spinal.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, Boz, before we head out of here, what's coming up is you have a few fights here on the schedule. Friday, November 22nd, you have a fight over in France. Papot Wagner. I don't know them. You have also on Friday in Atlanta, Brendan Adams is going to be fighting a Greek fighter, Katsarakis. I believe I've seen Katsarakis.
Yeah, I heard of
So I'm thinking that's
that
a part
boy.
of Overtime Elite. Katsarakis. He's a Greek fighter. I may have seen
Right.
the name or at least maybe seen him, but sounds familiar. So this is going to be on the zone. Then you have, speaking of the devil, Eubank, not Eubank Jr., but the other Eubank, the brother, younger brother. He's going to be fighting on over there in
Oh, really?
Newcastle. And
Hmm.
then
Interesting.
Saturday, a pretty solid fight. A pretty solid fight Saturday. Boz is going to be in the UK, Birmingham. You're going to have Sonny Edwards taking on,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, Galal Yafai, the younger
Yeah.
Yafai, right?
Well, that's right.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be
Yeah.
a good matchup right there. And a step
That's
up for Yafai.
that's a fire matchup, really. I
I must
expect it
say,
will
I'm
be all
surprised Yafai is taking it.
all fireworks. I imagine. Yeah,
What do you think
because
of that
Sunny
matchup?
Lee,
If you had to throw a potential winner out there, what do you think?
I think Sunny probably will win,
Yeah.
but yeah, it will be. I hope it will be a good one. I mean, I do expect the fireworks fight. Yeah, because both guys are not known for just backpedaling and being on their bicycle. They like to mix it up, even though Sonny doesn't have power, but he still likes to, yeah, mix it up, definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, I like that matchup right there. Yeah, I'm leaning
Yeah,
Sonny as well. Not that you fight. Hey, you fight. Hey, I'm sure it'll bring out the best of him. Show us something. Show us he has that
yeah,
grit and metal to him that like never before. But I do think
yeah,
Sonny, of course, has the experience, the competition on his side, and it should be an interesting one right there. It crept up on us. I remember this being mentioned. I didn't know it was this weekend coming up, but I certainly look forward to it. Got Gavin Gwynn fighting on this card as well. But
yeah,
yeah, Sonny Edwards versus Galal Yafai. That should be a good one, folks. If you didn't know, that's going down this coming Saturday. Technique says Sonny Edwards has good skills. Yes, indeed, indeed. He's nice with
mm,
it, The way he's able to duck punches, even get his off of the way he's ducked, deke, move, maneuver between those punches right there. And he and Bam put on a hell of a fight, you know. And I think
yeah,
that's a plus side. And Sonny tried to, bang it out with him. Didn't work out in his favor, but hey, he can bounce back. And this is an
yeah.
opportunity right here for sure.
Now he
So
knows.
yeah,
Yeah,
look forward to that one.
now he knows better. So,
Yes, sir. 50-50 there, says Ernest. Yeah, this should be a good one. So I look forward to it. I think, yeah, we'll definitely have to come back and talk about that one for sure there. But folks, hey, it's been a pleasure, of course. Boxing Chit, another edition. We're talking a little bit of what's going on, but hey, the buck doesn't stop here. We have more stuff coming up, indeed. So we appreciate you dropping by. Give everyone out here a like, give everyone a subscribe, continue to show love. Hey, and we'll be back with more. But until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. Stay safe.
yeah.